So we're back at it this morning here in the Bronx. Unfortunately, we had a little rain. That's okay. We spent our time over at the stone yard at E.P. Jansen's nursery, picking up the bluestone for that front curb. At least we have that on site now, and we're back rocking the pond in. Myself and Raphael are working on the rest of the rocking on this bottom section over here. Felipe's bringing us rock from out front. D'Alessio's trying to get this concrete dry. Because of the rain and the moisture, we need to get that dry right there, that liner all dry, and that way we can actually seal that liner to the concrete. Inside the pond, there's gonna be a piece of bluestone that goes down about 36 inches, maybe 40, and we're gonna bury it in a little foundation. That'll be a wall that goes straight down to the pond, great for feeding the fish. On the backside here where the machine is, there's gonna be another piece of bluestone that stands up about 1 foot, maybe 16 inches from the patio area. What that will be is a curb with a flat stone across the top. We're gonna pitch the liner in between those two pieces of bluestone, and when we're all finished, it's gonna look like one solid piece of bluestone with a nice cap going across the top. Sometimes you gotta be inventive and change things up a little bit, and this is gonna be very unique for this project. So we got the foundation dug there for the bluestone feeding area. This will be a 40-inch slab going in here on the inside and a 16-inch slab on the outside. What we're doing is putting some sand down below to make a cushioning, and then on top of the liner, we will be setting a 1/4-inch chip gravel so we can level that stone and get it set in there perfect. When you come walking down that walkway where that machine is towards the pond, that's gonna be really a cool entranceway. Raphael is over here. He's getting ready to set up and start doing the batten strip along the wall. I'm gonna watch him as he goes along. This is one of the first times him doing it, but he's seen us do it plenty of times. Best way to learn is doing it yourself. I'm here to watch him so I can explain whatever, and then after that, this guy catches the drift real quick, so he'll be a professional. Right now we're putting the base down and getting it all level, and then we'll bring the stone and set it in place. It's gonna be a really neat edge to the pond, as well as what Raphael and Alicia are working on behind me. They're getting that liner up against that wall so we can make that grotto work again. It'll only be for parties or special events because the concrete up there is old, but I think it still should work pretty well. And once that Virgin Mary goes back in place, it's gonna look spectacular. Chris is working on that little statue out front, cleaning it up, getting all the old paint off of it, and he's gonna make it into a brand new statue. I can't wait to see what he does with that. So he just strapped up the slab of bluestone here. That is 40 inches tall by about 8 foot long. The cost difference between an 8-footer and a 6-footer is not much, so we went with a little extra distance. That way when we set it in there and we hide some of those edges with rock later on, you really get a nice area of deepness going into the pond to feed the fish, sit on the coping edge and dangle your feet. But this is gonna be really cool. So we got that stone in place. It's at the right height. Now we gotta make sure we plumb and level it. The top of that stone is sitting about 4 inches above water level. When the cap goes on, that'll be about 6 inches above water level. We'll have to fill that front void in with gravel, rock the front out, and then also on the back side here, we'll be filling that with 3/4-inch stone. We're coming in with our second rock here in front of the wall. We got that one down low. This one's gonna be a little taller. And then what we'll do is we'll shelf out. We have a shelf behind here on each side. That's gonna help sturdy the front of this bluestone, keeping it pinned in between large boulders on the front side. The second piece of bluestone is coming in. This one is 8 foot long, 16 inches wide, and 6 inches thick. We're gonna be backing this up to the other stone and pinching the liner in between. We'll be flipping this 90 degrees to stand it more vertical. I can't wait to see what this looks like all said and done. We're getting ready to set stone number 2. The guys are putting a 1/4-inch chip leveling agent on top of the 3/4 gravel back here and getting that nice and level. The 2-inch thick piece of bluestone that you see there goes down to the bottom of the pond on the other side and will be raised up a foot here. We have a piece of rock pad against the bluestone, then the liner, and then another piece of rock pad, which you see here. Over to my right is that outside stone. We have about 6 inches thick that way and about 8 foot long, and that will face this side of this wall. The liner pinched in between it will make a waterproof seal, and as you come up from the pavers here, it's gonna be a really neat addition to this pond. So the two pieces of stone are in place and they couldn't look more perfect. Raphael is just cutting the liner and the underliner that we sandwiched in between the two pieces of stone. Over in the distance hanging from the machine right there is the capstone that will sit on top of these two pieces, and you'll never ever see this seam ever again. So we're back at it after a nice weekend break, and we're back in the Bronx working on the project for one more week out here before we head out to our famous pond camp. This year that's going to be up in New Hampshire. Make sure you stay tuned for a video on that. It'll be over 150 contractors. We're heading up to Camp Ogons and it's going to be awesome. We're going to be doing 3, maybe even 4 water features up there, a whole bunch of fishing activities, and the main thing is networking and team building. We got a couple of special guests for the week. So we got Baldo over here from the other install team. So Baldo works over there with Enrique, and he's here to join us this week. Enrique's prepping us for camp, which is really awesome. This is a lot of work that goes involved in that. You know those two guys. We got Felipe over there and Raphael up in the machine. And we're working on strapping boulders with the other special guest here, Mr. Abel. So we're doing some plant edging here, setting these hostas down in the water and just really breaking that edge up. I can't wait to see this water wall come alive. We're gonna make it look something special. That's gonna have its own pump. That's what those guys were just drilling out over there, and that pump is going to sit right in this area here. So that skimmer unit can only hold about 7,000 to 9,000 gallons per hour, and with that extra pump it puts us over the amount of water that can get into that weir. So when you're building a pond, that is really important to pay attention to. And right now we're setting some boulders as far over as possible around this cedar tree. The rest of these boulders here will be set from this side. We'll be able to pull that liner in and drive the machine and set over there. We decided to start on the top edge in this back corner. We're working on setting some hostas underneath this large cedar tree. Some of them are in the water, some of them are outside of the water. And we're gonna work our way along. So we got the skimmer rock set to the left, but we have to finish this little section down here. It's always smart to start from the bottom and work your way up. I don't like setting rocks up above and then having to worry about this later on. So we're gonna finish this off first, backfill with gravel, and then continue along setting that edge of the pond. This will be a more natural curve, where the outside where Felipe is gonna be more of a rounded wall. Stay tuned for that, because we have 2 different elevations going on here. And remember, this pond is slightly risen. Check out that statue of the Virgin Mary. Chris worked really, really hard. That thing looks awesome. I believe he's gonna paint some color on it today. I can't wait to see what that's gonna look like up in the grotto. There was so much flaking paint on this statue, and it looked old and decrepit, but it was solid and beautiful. And with a little restoration, Chris has brought it back to new.
It's a lot of work.
Was it a lot of work? What do you say about this whole entire process here?
What can I say? I'm happy. Looks like it was old, but looks like it's new right now, right? It takes a lot of work, but I'm happy.
And who taught you how to do it?
I'll be honest with you, this is the first time.
And what did you use? Good old YouTube and Google, right?
Yeah, YouTube, yeah.
See, just like you guys watching this video here, learning about ponds, Chris learned how to make this statue brand new via YouTube.
And I learned how they are building this new pond too.
You're gonna come through a Garden State Koi class
like
in the
to.
spring? Awesome.
Now, yeah, I would like to.
Great. What is this, your umbrella?
Yeah. Nice.
It's nice. Once again, we have rain on the project. Only a couple sprinkles, it's passing right through. But the pond's almost filled and we're getting ready for these finishing touches. So some of the final things on the project is hooking up the 1-inch hose to the back of the wall. That'll send water up through little holes that have been drilled through the wall to spill off the front side. This will only be a temporary waterfall or like a party waterfall. Not running all the time, because who knows how much leakage is in this wall here after 20 years. Don't forget to press that like button, hit that subscribe button, and ring the bell if you like what you saw in the video today. It means a lot to me and my team. Don't forget to tune in next week for another vlog here on our YouTube channel.